Got to put the.
Welcome to the FromThe108 podcast, starring the drunk uncles of White Sox Twitter. He's a Twitter-like whore, an Instagram thirst trap, and your grandma's guilty pleasure, Beef Loaf. A West Coast attitude in a decidedly Midwest body, My Sock Summer. And your host, he's sharing obscure music thoughts to give you time to hit the bathroom, Chorizy E.
Thank you, Corn Z. Welcome to the From the 108 podcast. You ready for some baseball, beer, and bullshit? And remember the drinking rules. If Beef Loaf says allegedly, or that he manifested that, you drink. If My Sock Summer talks about the gym or tells us he simply didn't have time, you drink. And if I talk music or Star Wars, you drink. And of course, you can make all of us drink for $1.08 or more. And that reminds me, fellas, what are you drinking? Beef, what are you drinking tonight?
You know what? I tried to follow the list, but I might be cheating a little bit. Okay. I'm trying to have a Paloma.
Okay.
However, what I have is tequila, and I have squirt. I have squirt.
Yeah, that's Paloma.
Well, it's grapefruit, right?
Yeah, it's grapefruit. Yeah, it's grapefruit. Yeah. But you know, it's not pure. It's not a pure Paloma, but I think it should be close enough. So
is it Lou Paloma? And is he telling you to blow
me? Great episode from Tales from the Crypt.
Eight people on Earth will get that joke. I hope Yumper's watching this one because he'll message us tomorrow. I'm the guy that got that joke.
Oh, I know the Paloma joke. The Paloma joke.
How is it?
I put a lot of tequila in here. I realized.
All right.
I think that first sip, I was like, "Whoa!" I like a lot of tequila, but I wasn't ready for as much as I put in there, so that's good.
I feel like we're hitting the cocktail hard tonight on a thing. But MSS, what are you drinking?
Go ahead. Well, I have a twofer tonight. Again, not a twofer. I have two things that we'll get off the list. So, but it's one and one. So, hey, if I'm gonna explain things like this all night, it's gonna be a great show, everybody. So get ready. We're gonna start off with a Heineken.
I'm glad. I'd never wanted to have that one.
Yeah, me
I don't
either.
want to have it either. You're lucky because this was the one of the big beers that they had at the grocery store I was at. I'm gonna try a taste. I'm sure it's gonna taste just like like skunky beer.
It's gonna taste like a skunky beer.
Back in the day, that was like high-end shit, man. If someone was drinking the Heinekens, they're like, "Oh man, that guy's got a couple bucks in his pocket." You know?
I mean,
what's nice is you got the 24 ounce, so it's going to be warm by the end.
I mean, I'm gonna try to drink it as fast as possible, but if I finish this and the other one that I'm drinking, then I have to drink the Chi-Chi's margarita that was just god awful. I don't think I can drink that again. So
what's the backup? What's the second beer?
The second one.
Oh,
it's a favorite of K-Dog, Matt Ramsey.
Oh man,
it's a Mick Ultra. It's a big 25 ounce actually. This is 25 ounce. I think this might be 25 ounce too, guys. Oh, this is 24.
You're a saint taking these two off the board for us.
So you're
welcome. I really appreciate you. I
think Mick Ultra is a real easy one. That's not a problem. The Heineken is not desirable. I agree with that, man.
I have something light after I do this,
The problem is you got to go into the store and buy that Mick Ultra, and then they know you suck. Like
it's a reputation thing. I see what it is.
I would drive out to the suburbs to buy that.
People worry about their reputation sometimes.
Maybe I was
that recently. Who knows?
No, I wasn't. I was at Fairmont, right up the street, like risking life and limb, going into that parking lot with like an inch of snow on the ground. Like I could have gotten killed any 2 seconds. Chorizo, what are you drinking tonight? You got something on the list?
So I got 3 different cocktails. I was like, so I decided
three different cocktails.
I was looking at the list, and there's the Boulevardier or whatever the fuck. I don't know how to say it. But I looked at what it is, and it's basically a Manhattan and add Campari. I didn't have Campari, so I was like, I got to go out and get it. But I got everything else for the Manhattan. So why not do the Manhattan the same night?
Right. Yeah.
But, you know, I want to mix it up a little bit in between. So I also got, I having a Godfather in between, which is the Amaretto and whiskey.
But be on your ass after the show, man.
I made the Boulevard here for the first time. I have never made this before. And I got to admit, I might have put too much Campari in it because it's a pretty red color.
Yeah, it's looking very red there. Yeah.
I don't know if it's supposed to be this red, but you know what? It tastes nice. I'm fine.
That's
I'm fine.
Great. That's good.
Beef, how you doing tonight?
You know what? I'm doing fine, but I have a question for you guys about a guy that you're both big fans of. He's resurfaced recently. He's been out of the public spotlight for over like 3.5 years, I would say. A tweet came out from the John McAfee account, and this was almost 24 hours ago. It was yesterday night. It says, I'm back with AI antivirus, an AI version of myself. You didn't think I would miss this cycle, did you? And it says, do not fall for scam tokens. This is only official, blah, blah, blah. So his account really hasn't tweeted in like forever and ever. And then 2 hours later, it tweets again, John McAfee's account. It says, John's account has not been hacked. This is the real deal. More information forthcoming. Now, for those of you who don't know who John McAfee is, he is a fucking lunatic. But he invented McAfee antivirus. That's originally how he got rich. I think MSS did a story on him on this show like a couple years ago about a documentary was out about him when he was living in Belize, and he allegedly killed this guy, and he had all this money and all these guns and all this shit. Well, he allegedly in 2020, let me pull this up.
You kind of buried the lead, though. He likes to poo-poo in his mouth.
I was going to ask you guys if that was because I had heard. I thought that was one of his vices there.
Does the AI version of him like that, though?
Like to get cock out on. I don't know for sure. But he allegedly committed suicide in his prison cell in Spain in 2021, June of 2021. He was there, I guess, because of tax evasion. He hadn't filed a U.S. tax return in 4 years. And it was always under weird circumstances. People were like, there's no way he committed suicide. And there was like a weird tweet or letter or something from him like 6 months before. If they say I committed suicide, I did not commit suicide. Like that type of crazy shit. His family, when they followed up on it, they were like, they don't think it happened. They think maybe he was murdered or whatever. So my question for you guys is, do you think it's possible this motherfucker is still alive?
I would say no. I would say that he's probably not alive. And I will say, as insane as that motherfucker was, I find it hard to believe he'd kill himself. Like, I don't see it. But let's say he did, or let's say he got killed, whatever.
Yeah.
You know that what's going to happen next is they're going to find some video of him where he was like, I've already set it up. Artificial intelligence will be smart enough by the time blah, 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 and I will live forever as AI. And like, when he said it, it was probably him like methed out of his mind, just saying some crazy shit.
He did like the meth.
But someone's got that on video, and they're like, oh, boy. We're going to make some dough.
Well, Teresa, he liked drugs, but not all drugs. He was apparently not a fan of the vaccine. He did not want the vaccine in 2020. He liked almost every other drug, though. If I remember correctly from his documentary, he was doing drugs all the time. He claimed he was in great health, but he was always fucking doing drugs back in the day.
He wasn't dead by 2020?
No, he died in 2021, June of 2021 in Spain.
I mean, I thought that motherfucker was dead, right before 2020.
No, right. he didn't want you to take the vaccine.
Here's why he's not alive, Loaf.
Why?
He's so audacious. He never would have been able to keep quiet for this long. Like he is just out there. He's doing everything. A man that needs to have somebody. A man that needs to have somebody poop in his mouth, like the person that is willing to take money to poop in somebody's mouth, like is gonna talk. Okay, they're willing to do anything for money. They're gonna do this unless this is the only hitch pin there.
He screwed it up. He screwed up the screwed up version. He screwed the screwed up version, Treasy. He was trying to do it the dumb way that he had said it before the show, and he fucked that up too.
he might get the people over to the house, but then when he's done taking the poo-poo in the mouth, he kills them. So then they can't talk. So I don't know. That would be the way that it could potentially happen.
I think you're right, MSS, about him. Like he's too out there, because remember, like I think when John McAfee got on the map for kind of a lot of people who knew who the fuck invented McAfee antivirus? No one knew that. Right. But it was when the shit was going down in Belize, and he made that like fucking crazy escape, but he's escaping police. He's eluding police through different countries. Mm-hmm. And the whole time he's texting the guy from Wired magazine so that he could live tweet John McAfee's escape.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yes. And didn't he take a heart attack too to get out of one of the things? Like he's a fucking maniac.
They were going to extradite him to the U.S., I believe, right? Or vice versa. Someone's going to extradite him, and he was like, "Oh, I'm having a heart attack." Got out of it. All right, let's get a couple drinks here. Jerry O'Sullivan says, "Here's to MSS, a true original, unlike that Joker at unoriginal shirts." Cheers, boys.
Cheers, Jerry.
I feel like this could be a theme tonight.
It might be.
All right. Aloha, Mr. Ann says, "Here's a donation to the upcoming MSS fund for when he goes medieval on obvious shirts." Cheers.
AS.
I missed the ass at the end.
Oh,
you shouldn't miss ass. Ass is good.
Husky Bardo says, "Cheers, fellas." I have a feeling we're going to cheers with you in person.
Yes.
Yeah, Husky. See you tomorrow, buddy.
We have no T-shirts.
I mean Saturday. I don't even know what day it is. Thank you.
Don't show up tomorrow. Southside Bum, he says, "Cheers, gents. T-shirt idea. It's obvious. I'm a big fan of the 108. Print the shirt. Cheers."
Hello. Bum.
This is a lot of Campari. I gotta admit that maybe
you're getting a lifetime worth of Campari. One drink.
You know what though? It's only like an ounce or so in here. Yeah. But I was like looking at the bottle. I was like, I bought this whole fucking bottle. Like
you have to make these every week.
I know one drink with it. So I got to find out some new drinks. I gotta explore. Gotta explore.
I might want to borrow your Campari sometime just to see what it's all about.
Come true. I'll make you a drink. Beef. So what's your end verdict here? Is he alive? Is he AI?
I want to believe that he's alive just because I love crazy stories like that. But I have a feeling they're just using his image, his likeness, to kind of create a new brand, maybe some scam token, some bullshit, because everyone's trying to make a scam token. I even saw Dave Portnoy's debating whether or not he's going to have his own fucking coin that he knows is going to be a Ponzi scheme. And so I don't know how much it's just some bullshit that they want to bring him back. But it would be hilarious if dude was still alive somewhere, had just faked his death and was coming back and being crazy again. Because he was a fun kind of crazy because he wasn't harmful directly to us. He was just crazy in the background, and whatever shit he was into, you could observe it and be entertained by it. Oh, some people got hurt, MSS, just not us. That's what I meant. We didn't get hurt by it.
He killed his neighbor's dogs. Yeah.
I don't think he didn't really mean to do that.
Well, allegedly.
Beef, though, like we hear things like this all the time, right? Like you always hear like these conspiracy theories of like, oh, this guy's actually living on an island, blah, blah, blah. And it's always bullshit.
Yeah.
It's always horseshit. Let it be real once.
One time.
And this is the guy. This is the guy that you would be like, of course he's still alive. Of course he's still alive. MSS, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. Real quick, I was sitting here today. I was doing a lot of work, right? I do freelance work, which will be another theme that comes up, but not right now. I'm not going to talk about that right now. I'm doing a bunch of work, and I get some tweets or I get some texts, and one of the texts is from a friend of the show, professional baseball pitcher, TJ McFarland, and he says, "Hey, I heard you guys did a video about my boy Gus Varland," and I was like, "Oh yeah, the Sox did," not even thinking, Treasy, that the asthmatic asshole up above me did a fucking whole show about this with P-Knowles.
I did.
And that's what he's fucking talking about. So Gus Varland is looking on the internet and sees P-Knowles and Beef Loaf talking about himself and all this stuff. And so it just and Loaf, I'll say this, man. Yeah. I I'm sorry that I didn't immediately go to that thought because I just was like, no, the Sox did. They're not us. You know, he's just talking White Sox. And then it's like, no, actually, he's talking us. So we start to get talking. And he goes, yeah, he's like, I've been training with Gus because Gus is a full-time Chicago guy. I've been training with Gus all winter. He's a fucking stud. And I'm like, wow. You know, journeyman TJ McFarland, who knows what it takes to make it in this league, is calling Gus a fucking stud. All right, so that's got to be good, right? So not one that's willing to miss an opportunity ever. I'm like, hey, if you and Gus ever want to come on the show together, we'll even get Pinols to come on this motherfucker, and you guys can meet, and it'll be fun. You know, you'll save my reputation. You know, so we'll do some happiness like in front of everybody. So we got that going. We're gonna see what happens. He said he was non-committal, but he says I will talk to Gus tomorrow.
Yeah, the Sox gonna be like, no, you are not going on that. Whatever that is, whoever those weirdos are, you're not going on there.
I think he could do whatever. You know, like I think that he would do it. You know, it's something easy. So you know, I don't know. I just think that would be really fun to bring together Pinols and Gus on
more likely, Beef. More likely, yeah. Gus Farland on the show. John McAfee on the show.
McAfee for sure.
I think it's McAfee.
More likely.
So guess, now we can talk about this. We're going to Sox Fest tomorrow, but we have Gus Farland is appearing at Sox Fest tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to talk to him.
You're going to Chris Farley show him?
I'm going to do it.
Remember on the White Sox? That was amazing.
He's still on the White Sox.
Remember, I can't wait till he fixes
it. You see, this is exactly what I don't want to have. No, do not corner Gus Farland.
I'm not going to corner anybody. Okay?
I know what could happen, though. That's what I'm worried.
Fucking denim vest over here is going to get a fake number from Gus Farland. That's
I'm just worried about tomorrow. Like, I don't know how much stuff I can bring in to try to get signed on the low. But, you know, hey, we'll see what happens.
This guy. I thought when he said, you guys want to go, I thought we were going to go have a couple beers at the bar and hang out.
Yeah. We're going to hang out. We're going to go. I didn't know you were going to be hustling grass.
So he's going to be out there hustling. We'll be hanging with him. That's fine.
We are the ones that need to get the mosh pit started for Len Casper. Okay? Like, that's what we need to do. We need to get that mosh pit started.
Look, man, I ain't getting nowhere at 5 o'clock. Let's just be honest. Your band's playing at 5 o'clock. You weren't meant to be seen. I'm sorry.
Man. Coming
Music
from
expert Treasy says it.
Yeah,
he's talking about himself.
And there were people that came running all the way from the fucking gates to go like, who is this first band playing? And they turned around that little kid that just spins around and runs away. So I fucking know, all right? If anyone knows, I know.
He's bullshit. There was over 100 people watching them play. He's so full of shit. There was a bunch of people at that stage very early like that. So
I wasn't one of them, but yes, there was a bunch.
I was 100%.
You were there.
Daryl was there.
Daryl was there. Yes, Daryl was there watching.
Terezi, how you doing tonight, buddy?
Doing all right. I'm doing all right. So last night, I got home from work, and I was just like, I don't really want to fucking do anything. Cornsey's like, hey, you want to watch that? You want to see that Bob Dylan movie? And I was like, you know what? I do want to see that Bob Dylan movie. Now, Beef, you know me. I'm not a huge Bob Dylan fan. But
no, you are not.
I appreciate how important he is to music, in general. And I thought that like Timothy Chalamet did a really good job getting all his mannerisms down. He was actually playing guitar. I was pretty impressed that he was playing. The music was good. Like everybody who performed in it, it sounded really good. The movie's about nothing. Like there's
hey, here's Bob Dylan. Enjoy.
There's no plot. and even like stuff where you're like, oh man, doesn't seem like it's going well with this girl. And it's like, but don't worry about Bob because he fucked everybody. So I'm like, well, how am I supposed to feel that? Like the most like action in the movie is Bob goes to a bar and gets like in a little tussle, gets punched in the face. That is like the greatest hardship of the movie. Like I'm just like, what is this? He's instantly famous in the movie. I'm just like, what is happening? Like, however you feel about Walk the Line, at least like you're like, oh man, Johnny went through some shit.
You saw the trajectory of all of it. You got to see the whole thing. You know, the whole thing. Yeah.
Like, oh, this marriage ain't working out. Bob Dylan being like, just getting done fucking and being like, all right, get out of here. I don't really see that as a hardship for the man. Like, I don't think he overcame much there.
Bob Dylan, to me, not much of a looker. So it really just leads you into the musician thing. They do well. Them guys do well.
I think, though, as a young man,
better looking,
more handsome. Because Jacob Dylan, he looks.
Dylan's not a bad looking guy.
I met Jacob Dylan.
I think many of us, like our age, beef. Our introduction.
He's an old man.
Our introduction to Bob Dylan is like he's older. He's got that weird mustache.
Yeah,
and he's like, and he's like, he's the worst part of We Are the World. Like that's what he grew up.
He's got great songs as long as he doesn't sing any of them and someone else does them. That type of shit.
He was hot shit. So I mean, and according to the movie, very hot shit. People lose their fucking mind over it.
Mercy.
But yeah, there's just things in there where I'm like, I've seen footage of this, and like they put it in the movie, and they're like, this was basically when the Hells Angels were beating the shit out of people at the Rolling Stones concert. It's like, it wasn't. Let's all be honest here.
Let's not do that.
So yeah, like I think like if you like, and so Treasy hates everything from Minnesota bullshit. I just had a big rant about how much I love hams, and so does that guy from Minnesota.
Allegedly.
But yeah, I mean, like if you like Bob Dylan, you definitely see it because it is an enjoyable movie. Like an episode of Seinfeld is enjoyable. You don't come away from it going like, what a profound take on life this was. But if you like Bob Dylan, you'd be like, hey, that sounded really good. I'm impressed by everything that was in that. I didn't know the relationship with Woody Guthrie. Like that's how you kind of come away from it.
So it's a movie about nothing, basically. But Bob Dylan's in it.
It was about how easy it was for Bob Dylan to become famous, basically.
I love it.
Like you just like this is a bad example for kids. It's like just show up in New York.
Got your guitar? All right, there you go. You're all set. No problem.
Just fucking handing out contracts.
My son Summer looks like he's hard at work. Like he's staring at something. I don't know what he's doing. Look at him.
I can't tell if he's frozen.
He might be frozen.
Or if he just came, or if something else is going on.
He was frozen. Yes.
Oh man, he did come. He's going to clean up. He's going to clean up.
He absolutely goes.
I feel like this is kind of like since we got a couple minutes here. I feel like this is the kind of thing like you just keep seeing like there have been biopics that are like very popular, so they're like let's just keep churning them out. Like these artists are like popular and stuff, so like let's make a movie about them coming up. And like me and Cornsey were laughing not too long ago because we go to a lot of shows in Chicago, a lot of musicals like musical theater.
Yep.
And so like they recently did a Cher one. It was fine and everything. And she goes, "Do you know they're making a Huey Lewis musical?" I was like, "Why?" I like him.
Yeah.
I am a Huey Lewis and the News fan. All right. I own CDs of Huey. I'm like Patrick Bateman. I'm that into Huey.
I like Huey. Huey's good.
I do not need.
You'll chop someone up on your couch. Listen to Huey anytime.
I do not need a 3-hour musical about whatever that's going on. I'm like, you can't make a whole musical about Ray Parker Jr. stealing his song. Like you can't. It's not enough. Not enough.
See, what? There you go.
Do you know that whole story?
I do. Why would I bring it up if I didn't know it?
Well, no, but like, why Ray Parker even did that? Because
why did Ray Parker do that?
They put the Huey Lewis song in there, and they gave it to him and said, write some words to this song, or whatever, because we're gonna get this from him or whatever. And he's like, oh shit, okay. And so he did it, and like he apparently they didn't even like. They didn't ask Huey if they could use it, and then Huey told him to fuck off. And then Ray Parker was put in a pinch.
They went to Huey first to do this.
Yes.
And he said no. And so then when Back to the Future came to him after that, he was like, well, you're just going to fucking steal it anyways. I better fucking do it.
Yeah.
So I don't think that needs a musical.
Yeah.
But Teresa, you think a lot of this is just
He's
a
like
lot of
Jeff.
people have been saying too that oh no, there's no new ideas and all that stuff. I think there's new ideas, but do you think it's so expensive now to make anything that they're like, fuck, we better make something that we know has got a built-in audience before we go out there and do this shit. That's why you're getting that biopics. You're getting fucking 12th versions of movies that like, oh, it sold well before. We'll have to do this. No one would take a chance because they can't afford it.
It's also why, like, every year now, when you get to like, oh, what were the best movies of the year?
Yeah.
You know, they're often like things that could be like a stage play or were, right? Like The Whale was like this incredibly great movie. And it's like, yeah, you can make that movie really cheap because you're in like 2 different rooms. There's like hardly any camera angles that need to be done. Like it is all about the acting. And so in one respect, I'm like, okay, that kind of sucks that there's like not enough new ideas, but I think there's enough that's coming through in like the more independent and really well acted stuff that like it balances out a little bit. I think maybe people will start to see that a little more and go that route, and it'll all even out at the end. But like they're gonna keep shitting out these music biopics. I can feel it. Yeah.
What's that? Is it A21 or A41? That studio that's making a bunch of shit right now. That's fucking good shit.
I don't know. You gotta get me in on that.
They were the ones that redid, or they made that movie that's called X, where they're like making a porno and then there's a killer and it's kind of like Texas Chainsaw Massacres. It's like A24. A24. That's right. They're making some great movies, great flicks. They got this one about this girl who's like a bodybuilder, is taking all these drugs, and then she's like starts murdering people, and like Kristen Stewart's in it. Kristen Stewart. I don't know. She's in it. It's fucking great. It's a good movie. Everyone should watch that. It's good stuff.
You know, people should listen to right now though. MSS, listen real good to you paying some bills.
I'm gonna do that. Here, hold on a second. Oh shit, I think that's the wrong graphic. Hold on. Oh, here we go. 75 years ago, Lawrence Schweg, a first-generation American, dreamed about having his own business. Lawrence had spent years working his way up at the Fulton wholesale market. So in the year 1950, he opened a small storefront on Canal Street. From the beginning, Lawrence I always say preferred, but it's perfected and served a family recipe for fried shrimp and hot sauce that is still the most popular offering now, 75 years later. That small store still exists, and you can get the best fried shrimp 24 hours a day. With 3 other locations, Lawrence's Fish and Shrimp has been serving the people of Chicago for 75 years. You don't stay in business for that long if you aren't good at what you do. Be sure to follow Lawrence's on all social media, Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok, and all them places. There will be monthly giveaways and celebrations for this historic year. This month, every Thursday, and I think you got one more after today. You can go and you get a free half pound of shrimp when you buy a pound of shrimp. So follow them up. Also, Happy New Year from Lawrence's Fish and Shrimp. Place your order online or at chicagoshrimp.com for pickup or delivery. Lawrence's Fisheries, serving the seafood you crave for 75 years, which is about how long it took me to read that. So
you got there. I'm proud of you.
My computer froze. I couldn't move my mouse, so I had to restart my computer in the middle of a show.
Oh shit!
Hey, no one noticed. No one noticed.
You guys don't restart before every show?
I do.
I do. Yeah.
And I just love when it's like, hey, we're gonna do updates too. Hope it's done by 8.
Good luck. Cross your fingers.
All right, fellas, it's time for the local look.
Look at you.
So I love that graphic. I missed this last time because I was at my work outing.
You did.
Christmas party, and I was not. I watched you guys while I was playing slots at the Belly's Casino after the outing.
Such a stud.
We're going to be talking about slots in a minute, but I'll let you start.
Because you've never done this. Is your version.
Local look. This is just us looking around town. Something local to us, something Chicago-based that we want to talk about.
Yeah.
Beef, your maiden voyage.
I love it. You're going to break my cherry right now. I'm going to start off with White Sox-related news, actually. It's local, and it's brand new, just happened. Connor McKnight is going to join the White Sox broadcast on Chicago Sports Network this season. It's ending his 4-year run as a studio host on team's flagship station, ESPN 1000. McKnight will become an employee of the team. And he says, I'll be wearing a lot of different hats, and I'm pretty excited about that. He told the Sun-Times, I like the vision that CHSN and Sox executives Brooks Boyer and Chris Cantana and those attached to creating the broadcast have for me. Play-by-play is a bug, and I've had it bad. I'll be filling in for Len Casper and Darren Jackson whenever they miss some time on the radio side, and filling in for John Schriffen and Steve Stone on the TV broadcast whenever that's needed as well. He said Boyer, the Sox senior vice president and marketing officer, and Quintana, the team's director of broadcasting, talked with him late last season about how he can contribute to the broadcast. So this has been kind of bubbling up for a little bit. He says, and quote, I think the numbers of the game are a great way to tell a story, he said. I think, too, with the White Sox being so youth-focused, we're seeing a revolution in the way data sources tell you how to project some of those prospects. He also says, and quote, but it's important not to let the numbers tell you this guy can or can't perform in the majors. We'll bring perspective from Sox scouts and scouts across the league and about other prospects and how they get to the big leagues. Interesting here, one last quote from McKnight as they talk about him leaving ESPN 1000. He says, good Karma Brands and ESPN 1000 is the best place I've ever worked. Mind you, he did work at 670 The Score before that. It's an incredible atmosphere. Teammates up and down the board, and every time you go into another office and say, hey, I'm thinking about doing this, something like this, the response you get is great. How can I help you? Cool, let's do that on the show. So, an interesting move for McKnight. A couple questions for you guys. Number one, it sounds like he's going to be like a super utility guy for the team. Basically, he's going to be maybe interviews in the dugout, maybe special segments, hopping in the booth if they need him to do that, potentially doing other shows related to the White Sox. What do you think about this role for Connor McKnight?
So the way I was thinking about this, and if I'm looking at it from his standpoint, right? Like I'm guessing that they're solidifying Chuck and Ozzy pre and post game, right? Like I would assume that's what they're trying to do. I don't know if they've got that locked down yet, but that feels like the right thing to do. I think that show is great, and like that would
no
be
need to touch that at all. That's right.
But that takes Chuck away from some of these other things that he used to do.
Right.
Like so you fill in all those Chuck things. You fill in on the radio when you need to, and you fill in on TV when that opportunity arrives. But the thing is, like, if I'm Connor and I'm looking at this team, the team's coming up, right? Like you gotta hope that there's some upside to the team. And I think it would be only reasonable to question John Schriffen's future there. Right? Like, so like if you want to get the foot in the door on this job, if it becomes available, do it a bunch. Your resume is right there. And like everybody, like, let people know that you're great to work with and that like they should appreciate, and you'll do anything. And like, that seems like kind of shit I would do. Like I would be like, hey, I do this really good. I take care of all this, everything you need me to. I'm not a pain in the ass. Let me take the wheel when you move this over.
Right. How about you, MSS? What do you think about this new role for Connor McKnight?
I like it. I think that he was in the running there at the end. I know James Fox was very upset he did not get the job. And were several others that were like, why didn't Connor get the job? So now Connor is getting the trial run, and he's going to go out there and he gets to see it. And I saw this too. Is just going to put that up also. Jared asked MSS, talk to your. He's a Trojan horse to replace Schriffen. I don't think he's a Trojan horse to replace John. I think John is kind of set. And I know everyone knows how we feel about John. Obviously, you had him on the Festivus show. You guys should watch that. It's fun. We're the only Chicago media to do any type of interview with him other than Scott Merkin. I guess it's recently.
Merck, basically.
We'll be interviewing.
We're the only two. So
exactly.
It tracks. We're best friends with Brooks Boyer too, so that's why we get it. But anyway, it's like I don't think John is that bad across the board compared to every other fucking sports announcer, play-by-play guy that I've heard. I've watched a lot of football.
But what about Connor? MSS, what do you think about Connor
fine.
in the role? No, in this role he's going to be in, where he's going to be doing a lot of different stuff.
I missed part of that because I had to go take a piss. But like, if he's taking some of the stuff off of Chuck, if he's going to go back out and is he going to go on the stands and go talk to people?
That's what it reads like. Yeah.
Listen, this is what we need, because I'm not. They tried it. They had a hard clamp down with a linchpin, with a clinch pin around everything. And they're fucking saying you can't talk. They didn't talk to anybody. The stories didn't get out. None of the personal stuff got out there. You need to get that back into play because it's more fun. We need to know these people before we fucking, they're going to get booed if we don't know who they are. Okay. Yeah. And it's harder to boo somebody that you like. So if we have some human interest stories and all that shit, we couldn't do that last year because the team was just awful. It was a toxic environment. So it's just like, we're starting out the year good. We got Sox Fest starting, tomorrow and Saturday. We're bringing the fans back around. You're going to meet some players, and meet people. We're going to hear some more stories, more things coming out. It's going to be better. So if he can do that, that's going to be great. Play-by-play stuff and replacing that kind of stuff. They're all fucking the same, guys. I hate to say it. And like one's more nerdy than the other. Some does some that you like. But I tell you what, everything is good if the fucking team is winning. If the Sox are in first place.
I'm bringing it back up, Treasy. You brought that up. I agree 100% with John Carney. He says Connor didn't get the job. He's bad at play-by-play, but he's good at everything else. Yes, I cannot stand him at play-by-play. I think he stinks. Not that he's technically fine, but he's super boring. And he tries to force the stats in there, not in a natural way, and it doesn't really work very well. And I just don't think he's very good at that thing. But he's good at a lot of this other stuff. Yeah. And he's smart, and he's seemingly personable, and he did work on the radio. So, like, he can handle doing, like, a 30-minute show about them at random times or whatever. So, like, it seems like an incredible fucking fit for a guy who, like, you kind of want to keep him around. And pre and post and once a week doing, White Sox Weekly, I don't know. That's just not enough. They're not going to fit him in on ESPN,
So two quick things on that, Beef. One, the play-by-play thing, that's why you'd want to try and get a bunch of reps, right?
Right, where you can get in. Get in where you fit in. Yeah, you're right.
Right.
The other thing, I think you bring up a great point of he's the kind of guy that could host a 30-minute show every now and then, right?
Yeah.
Maybe, they got a shitload of hours to fill in the day.
They do.
David Hall's not available for every hour. Okay, you got to have someone else. I'm happy they added the second guy to David Hall.
I bought a new antenna. I bought a new antenna to get.
Did you get digital?
Yeah. Well, I've always had digital antenna, but I bought a new one because CBS is fucked up on my TV, and I watch football on the antenna
on the big TV.
Yeah. So I was like, let me get this new antenna. So I set it up, and man, the CHSN comes through crystal clear on that. So I was like, perfect. This is great for the season. But why the fuck is it like 9 a.m. and they got no show of their own? They're just simulcasting 670.
Come on, put something on there. What the fuck?
And that's what it is, right? And if Connor is willing to do fucking 5 shows a week of 30 minutes, they got room.
It's wide open for him. I was going to ask you guys the question about. I was going to ask you guys the question about. You think he's kind of waiting in the wings for if Sheriffin were to leave or whatever? But we kind of addressed that already. So my last question for you about this is, and maybe it's only me, but have you guys forgiven him? Have you given up the grudge against Connor McKnight for past faults against the 108?
I have. I'm
Have you?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm okay with that. It wasn't. I'll be honest. Did I know who Connor McKnight was when he was at our first Sox Fest after party? No,
it was the second one. It was the first one.
The second one. You know the first, I just didn't know who he. I didn't know who he was. People were like, he's on such and such. Oh, okay, great. Yeah,
Beef. You know what I've noticed. Part of the reason is what I noticed, and and this is going to come out.
I'm shocked.
Poorly, no matter how I say this. Yeah. Right. But we've since met a lot more people in radio or who are writers and things like that.
Yeah.
And they tend to be awkward.
That is the case sometimes.
It seems to be the case. There's a few Layla is super personable. If you meet Layla,
Well, I was gonna say to the one side, when we have these shows, if you have Dave Williams or Herbie there, they'll be buying shots for people. They're hanging out with everyone. They're drinking beer.
Yes.
Our expectation is that people will do that, though. We invite you to this thing. It's not just you're going to be 30 minutes on the panel or whatever. You're going to talk to some people because they came here, they paid, they bought a ticket, they want to meet some of these people. Not that you're going to bolt for the fucking door when your segment's over. And I have also forgiven the grudge. I'm over all that. But at the time, it was like a little upsetting. Not my favorite thing. And we took for granted the guys that we had that were good, like Dave, who we'll have again, and Herbie, who we'll have again.
Yeah. Well, that's why they are mainstays.
So watch your shit,
because like
Merc's the best. He's a good man.
If we weren't even doing a show that night, and you're just like, hey, let's call some people to hang out. We want to get a nice group together to hang out. I would fucking text Dave and her. Like I'd be like, hey, let's hang out then, right? Sure. Like so, yeah. Obviously, they're going to be up there with us. So like that's the kind of thing. But yeah, I'm not throwing shade at anybody. Like I'm awkward as fuck too. Like I mean, like I'm not like you come visit me in the seats. You know, it depends on the day. I might be like, I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on. Like,
especially if you ain't drinking.
I don't think oh man, if it's like midweek and I ain't drinking, don't
even talk to you.
You're way less awkward when you're blacked out. I'll tell you that.
Exactly. I agree, MSS. He's much more personality when he's blacked out.
We all know the dance moves. The dance moves are weak though. Like let's admit
it is what it is.
My chicken wing dance in the seats ain't no good. I could admit that.
Oh man.
So that's all I got. Connor McKnight, new job. I'm interested to see what it looks like, how they use them. It should be pretty good.
Congrats to Connor. They need something. Yeah. So
they need something. I agree. Yep.
MSS. What's your local look?
All right, we're gonna start it. And if you haven't been on the internet, you know, all last 2 days, 3 days, you might not know, but yeah, your boy's been a little busy on the internet. And I want to thank our girl, Missy Carroll, for alerting me to this tweet, and I'll put it on the screen and then I'll read it. It is from Obvious Shirts, which is a t-shirt company that is on the north side of the city. They have a storefront, and according to their website, have sold 100,000 shirts to 100,000 people. They are very big. They are a mainstay over there. People have seen their shirts. It is a bold Helvetica font with funny sayings on a blue shirt, white text on a blue shirt. If they're trying to pander to White Sox fans, it's a white text on a black shirt. But, you know, that's who Obvious Shirts is. They ran something called a design contest. And they say, this is right after the Bears had hired Ben Johnson. And he says, drop your best idea for a Ben Johnson shirt in the comments below. Winner will get full credit on the site. 3 shirts of their design and a $350 gift card and other perks. We will take the top 5 ideas to a vote. Folks, I'm a graphic designer, okay? People that made this logo, right? Like, hopefully got paid for making this logo. The logo that's on Cherizi's shirt, the Soundgarden logo. Hopefully the artist that designed that got paid. The 108 logo, I designed that. I get a third of that. It's great. Okay.
I created it, so I get a third too.
The idea.
I designed the Soundgarden logo.
You made the logo. That's right. Yeah.
So we're driving back from the mean streets of Sterling with the fam, and we're like, we're gonna have dinner, and we're gonna have dinner in DeKalb, you know, and we're going to Texas Roadhouse because that's what you do when you're in DeKalb on a holiday. You go to Texas Roadhouse. So we roll in there. I see it. I make an offhanded quick tweet because I'm like, I'm just gonna do this because I'm gonna be in the car for an hour. So I'm just gonna flip this out there before we get back into the car and drive back to Chicago. And I say mild rant, and I say spec work kills the design industry. Getting all these ideas and paying one person $350. Now, I was under the impression that they were actually giving like a Visa gift card or something. That was not the case. That's Obvious Shirts, so you can buy more Obvious Shirts, preferably not the design that you just made for them. Imagine asking multiple people to do work on your house and paying only the best one. I say GFY with this bullshit. Pay a designer to do the work. Fire that off, get in the car, start driving to Chicago. Now, you might be thinking, My Sock Summer, what is spec work? And I'm glad you asked. Examples of spec work. If you Google this, it is a designer submitting work to a design contest. That's the first fucking thing. An advertising agency pitching a campaign idea to a client. Okay, that's speculative, but usually the agency is paid to create an ad campaign. Not always, but they're also trying to win a business. Okay, there's a little bit of a difference. A filmmaker creating show assets for a potential client. Okay, now is spec work ethical? Spec work is controversial and widely considered unethical. Why is it considered unethical? To me, as a guy that sells ideas and creates things and puts things out there, I need to profit off of what I'm doing. It's just like putting shingles on a roof. It's just like painting a wall. It's creating a product. Problem is, most people don't recognize an idea as a product. They recognize the t-shirt as the product. So a lot of people are like, fuck ideas. I can think of ideas. Sure, go ahead. A lot of people were responding to my tweet saying, it's just words. So is a book, motherfucker. Look at what Stephen King has done. I can write all the same words, can't pronounce them. I can write them that he's put in a book. But the way that he puts them together, people like. So when I see a company that is claiming, and apparently, according to every motherfucker that's on the internet on the north side of Chicago, is the greatest fucking human being known to man, is saying, like, hey, give me some shit for free. I get a little pissed off. Now, and I mentioned at the beginning, they have a storefront in Wrigley. That ain't cheap, folks. The 108 does not have a store. Okay, we don't sell our merch somewhere because it's cheap. Yeah, yeah, correct. Thank you.
We need the
Party
video poker
cities.
machine.
Those party cities
in the back, though.
Those party cities that just closed. We're looking. We're looking at there.
I can't wait till we have a wall with the entire rainbow of 108 shirts that no one will buy on the side. It'll be good.
And in women's sizes.
In women's
sizes.
Of course. That'll be a whole party city. Just one whole party city, women's sizes. So when he also was at a Cubs Con this weekend, had a huge booth. He said, this was then, now, look at how big it is and how fancy we are. You're making money, and you're making money on the ideas that you put on these shirts. So I got a little upset because that's what you're doing. You're selling an idea. Well, I get home. I'm kind of just like chilling. All of a sudden, people start tweeting. People are starting getting upset. And Obvious Shirts tweets out, we are canceling the design contest. It upset some folks. That's just me. I'm fat. I understand, but I'm not folks. And their points are valid. Okay. That's all you needed to say, but he didn't. For what it's worth, $350 was the floor, not the ceiling. The one time we did this, where the sales outdid the initial payout, I paid the person on every future sale. Okay. So you're going to continue to give the guy gift cards in compensation to your store to buy your product, which I don't think he's selling at cost, so he's still going to make money. All right, whatever. I digress. This wasn't because I needed designs. I already had some design. I just thought it would be funny to get people involved. Sorry if this upsets a lot of you, but I'm not going to have my reputation questioned over a Ben Johnson t-shirt. Call me soft. I can live with that more so than anyone thinking I take advantage of other people. Go Bears. Okay, listen, Joe. Thanks for canceling the contest. Thanks for taking a guy that has a 10th of the followers you do's opinion so to heart and stopping something that I considered unethical. I appreciate that. Now, what happened after that? I don't necessarily appreciate so much, but that's okay because people get it confused. Because now, all of a sudden, I'm the biggest prick because I'm standing up for somebody that does creative work and needs to get paid, and they're taking away this job. And they're like, but they're voluntarily doing it. I'm like, I understand that. I said, just called it unethical. If Joe didn't have a problem with the shit, he didn't have to take it down. If he thought it was fine and dandy, he could have just done what he wanted. His people would not have given two shits comparatively. Okay. Right. I get it. The funniest part, not one of the funniest parts, what parts I like the most about this was people that started their fucking tweets to me because they're so afraid to say, oh yeah, you're totally wrong. They say, no, you're right. You have some good points, but this isn't that. Joe's not that guy. I'm here to tell you first off, good people make fucking mistakes. He made a mistake in my book. Okay. You might think he didn't. I don't give a fuck. If you think he did a fine job, that's fine. Whatever. but I was just like, I can't let this go by. People are like, you should go at Lay's when they make a flavor contest. Motherfucker, Lay's ain't gonna listen to me. But the guy on the north side of Chicago, who's in somewhat of a similar community as us, did listen to me. So I did what I could. Okay. So then he says, okay, well, I'm sorry. That was another one. He keeps saying to people, that was a great idea, but I canceled the contest because I run an unethical business. Joe.
You never said that.
I never said that. I said the contest is unethical. And I responded to it several times, and he still didn't get it. And so while everyone keeps telling me you can't argue with me because I'm too stupid, people are not comprehending these stuff. I'm saying the contest is unethical. You run a fabulous business. And I go on to like basically lick his balls in the tweet and say, hey, I'm really proud of what you built there. You know, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, oh, I'm done with this. I'm not interacting on this anymore. I'm not doing this. And then something even more amazing happened. Ryan motherfucking Dempster comes out and tweets your boy and says to all the trolls, which again, I'm fat. It is just one person coming at Joe for his bad contest, trying to bash or discredit obvious shirts. I have a message for you. Go kick rocks. Joe and his entire company do nothing but great things giving back. Put the keyboard down and go do something productive with your day. At Obvious Shirts is the best. Now, I'm like, Ryan Dempster, great. That's awesome. You know, and I am like, literally like, I can't wait to tell my girls who I'm watching all day, you know, because they're off school, not doing anything productive. But I am going to tell them how their dad just got subtweeted by like a subprime White Sox or Cubs players. And I'm like, this is going to be good. We're going to talk about this. And that just awakened a lot of angry and odd people. And one of the guys that was like getting in on me, like he had in his bio that he was he was a mascot for the back-to-back Stanley Cup champion Los Angeles Kings. You might want to look up a Los Angeles Kings mascot and just see what comes up. And see if there's anything on TMZ with this guy. He was coming at me, started said something about my kids, and I was like, "Hey, okay, whatever. We'll move on. I'm not going to sit this." He kept posting a picture of my daughter with an empty beer can, saying, "This is goofy. This is goofy. You're a bad parent." Blah blah blah. Whatever. Other people got into it. Some other people were saying some very not nice things. I had to reinstitute if you don't have 100 followers, I'm not going to respond to you. So I didn't. And I try to keep it really clean. Yesterday, I wasn't talking. I didn't tweet anything about it. I put a link up to our contest and said, this is, you know, hey, here's the contest. And then I said, P.S. to the one guy that doesn't understand how contests work. This is how a contest works. And I said, his name begins with a T. Or I didn't say that. I said, this is what occurs. Somebody took that a little personally. And that was the guy who was done with this Obvious Shirts. And he goes, this guy is still going? Is this how contests work? And he links ours where I say this one guy who doesn't get it. And it was his buddy Tommy, who is not the smartest or brightest bulb in the bunch, but that's okay. I was talking about him, not Joe, and then goes on to list a bunch of contests that he ran, which coincidentally enough did not ask for somebody to come up with a creative idea that he would then in turn sell and profit from. It was just him giving shit away, like we gave away Sox Fest tickets. Howard gave away 108 Day Live tickets. It's just like, please, like it's not the same thing. And he's like, oh, and then somebody gets in there again. And is like, dude, the guy's crazy, man. He's got a kid with a beer can in his fucking profile pic. Just let it go, guy. And he's like, you know what? I'm gonna let it go. I'm not interacting with this again. And I'm like, motherfucker, you said this twice. You know, like just shut up. Like you're done. It's done. And shout out to Tom. West Loop Tom and for saying that we should donate all the profits to a joint effort t-shirt to Bleacher Jeff so that he can get first class tickets to go to Tokyo to see the Sox or the Cubs. And this was a fun little experiment. I didn't think I would ever have to tell people to not post pictures of my kid online or have to change it because I thought adults could, you know, have some discourse. At not one point did I ever go back at somebody and call them a fucking idiot or stupid. I'll do that in my podcast, but I won't do that online, like out on the Twitters, because people are crazy, and they're crazy right now with the change of leadership and
three quick things for you, MSS.
Yeah, go ahead.
Three quick things. One, I'm on to The Godfather.
Okay.
What a tasty, sweet treat this is.
That's great.
But two, I like that you said I wouldn't do that online. I'll do it on my podcast. I hate to break this to you. This is online.
Currently,
Way
right
different.
this second.
But three, so
Way different.
I like I told you, MSS, I haven't been online much at all the past few
What are
days.
your guys'
I caught
Go for
bits
it.
and pieces
I
of
got thoughts on this.
And,
I know
and
you
one
do.
thing that I was thinking was it was along the lines of what you were talking about is like people don't appreciate that like just words on a shirt is creative, right? Like so I was trying to think to myself like what would be a good kind of parallel to this that people would truly understand. And I was thinking like if we put out a contest and said, "Hey, we want new theme music for our like a new intro for our our show, write a song," and the winner gets like a gift card to our merch store. Like that would be like everybody would be like, that's all that person gets for writing a fucking song for you, right? And then I got really sad because I've spent a lot of years in the music business, but both like working at a record label and then like being a musician myself, and I realized that over those years in Beef, you've seen me at all of these things.
I know I talked you out of staying in that business. Or tried to at least.
But Beef, you know that this is an accurate statement. In all of that time, I definitely made more money off of selling T-shirts than selling the actual music.
Oh,
yes.
And I was like, fuck. Like like I stopped even thinking about this thing. I was just like, God damn, man, people like T-shirts a lot.
They do. They do. And
Everyone buys them, right?
It's almost a disposable thing now too, you know, and that's fine. And this isn't Loaf, I want to hear your comments. Though.
Well,
I
a
could keep
couple
running,
things. You guys. So I credit you, especially you, MSS, because I lived with Treasy when he was struggling through like working in the music business, and I'm like, this man's brain, like he could be making himself a fortune right now, but I know he's chasing a dream right here and all this stuff, and he's making like 12 grand a year, working 80 hours a week and shit. And I never really understood how not valued creative work is until we became friends and talking to you and just like really understand, because I grew up accounting and finance. I'm an accounting and finance bro. When I was doing my internships in college, we were getting paid, motherfucker. We got paid even for our goddamn internship. We get paid for everything, right? And so I never like thought about it until we started doing all this stuff, and then you start seeing like it's a lot of work to do creative work, and it's hard, and it's hard to get yourself in a mental spot to do creative work. So I appreciated that tweet initially. Really loved it. What I enjoyed most about this was the character examination for me of Joe. So I don't know Joe at all. We know he has a business, right? He has the obvious shirts business. It's a famous business. A lot of people buy shirts from that, and a lot of people tout it. I've seen over the years, a lot of Twitter follows, you know, so it's a big thing on the Cubs side. When this went down, he knew that what he had done was a mistake. He figured out that's a mistake. But he didn't think it was a mistake from the standpoint that you thought it was a mistake, My Sack Summer. Where he thought it was a mistake, from what I could read, the tea leaves, is he thought he's going to look like a bad guy for doing this. Because it seems to me like his thought in his head of how much of a great guy he is super important to him. Because that thing went in there, like, and then he went immediately towards us on character attack with the 108 tourney stuff. And I thought, it's apples and oranges. It's not the same thing at all. And like the value in the one, I mean, that's off base. We're not going to discuss really what the value is and all that stuff. And whatever. It's not a main business. Whatever the fuck. But it lit me up immediately. Like, oh, not only is he trying to say, okay, I took the bad thing away. I'm not a bad guy. Oh, look at these guys are worse guys than me. Look what they do. And so it was a very interesting discussion. He could have just said, like you said in the initial, I made a mistake. I screwed up. I'll pull this off here. You know, maybe my judgment. But really what he should have done, in my judgment, he should have just not paid a fucking attention to you and ran his fucking contest, because that's what we would have done with almost every feedback we get. If it's some bullshit, just fucking go through it. But it must have at least hit a chord with him. And so it was an interesting discussion from that standpoint. I don't really, like, even all this back and forth, I have no bad blood towards the guy. I just feel like, okay, we disagree, and that's it. You know, whatever.
No, especially because he took it down.
He took it down.
Like I think, I think that he walked away from it. I I have no bad blood. I've never bought a shirt from him. I don't know that. He doesn't really make shirts for a guy like me. So like, I don't know, but we got to get this drink from Husky Bardo. He says, I feel like we should start a GoFundMe for MSS to go to Japan with obvious shirts and Ryan Dumpster.
Dumpster. Thank you, Bardo.
Oh, I think I missed a Jerry. Did I?
I think you got it. The unoriginal?
No, there was this.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't. Did you get that one? I don't think you got that one.
Yeah, I think.
Second Jerry. Did you get second Jerry?
Was there a second? Okay, there is a second
Yeah,
Jerry.
the second Jerry.
One?
Yeah.
No, that was the original.
No, we did that one.
That was the first one.
That's
at
the original.
Show. Yeah, it's just for some reason.
Reordered. You're right.
Out of order in here.
That's what got their Google machines working, and they post pictures of that sweet ass crew neck that we had years ago, and the stocking cap with the 108 logo on there, which is coincidentally looks a lot like the Sox logo. That the Sox have seen about 70,000 times and have not said to me one time, "Hey, we're gonna fucking sue you for using that," because you know what we do? We promote their brand. We promote people coming out and spending a lot of money. Plus, we ourselves spend a lot of money on the brand. So I don't know, like the two are not the same. Although if you're 100% correct with the tournament, it's just like, come on, my guy.
Yeah,
it's not. This isn't our main source of income.
If someone wanted to be bored to death, I could break down the way I think the value works in that, but we're not going to do that right now.
Yeah, we're not gonna do
HBIC says, when's Joe coming to Lawrence's hot sauce seat? Actually, Dave Williams offered to have a powwow at Barstool, so we would be game for that. If the Barstool guys want to invite us and Joe, and we all come on the stretch someday, like during the summer or whatever, we're game for that. We'll come hang out and we'll discuss the differences. It sounds good.
I'll just shoot 3-pointers really poorly over on the side.
Try to hit the rim at least this time, Trees.
No fucking chance. No fucking chance of coming anywhere near the rim.
According to the 30 seconds that I saw of their intro video on WGN when they first opened their store, he's a former semi-professional baseball player or college baseball player.
Nice.
So he could probably beat me up. So I'm not really all that worried. Like, he can beat me up. That's fine. Yeah.
We're not there to fight. We're there to hang out.
I'm going to wear this shirt, though, if we do see them on...
that was a great Bill Burr. That was like Bill Burr talking Corgan. Shit to Billy Corgan might be the best thing I've seen all week.
And this is a funny thing. When Bill Burr says to Billy Corgan, "You're a fucking Cubs fan," and he goes, "Yeah." Billy goes, "Yeah." Theo Epstein? And I'm like, wait. Not like... Ryan Sandberg?
Well, no, he's trying to connect with Bill Burr because he's a Red Sox fan. You know, he's trying to connect.
But it's too deep of a cut for that fucking motherfucker. Make some good music. Chorizo.
You want to know about my local look here?
I'm out. What's your local look?
So, you know, it's funny. It's going to be the second West Loop Tom reference today. So, West Loop Tom...
We're stealing all West Loop Tom shit.
Well, you know, he tweeted it out.
Thank you to everybody that supported
right?
me too.
And he was talking about
Chicago Brush Lions supported you real hard.
He did.
Man, he went hard.
He went hard.
I
he went hard in the paint, bro.
He went very hard, and he went right at the guy that is accused of sexual assault as a mascot against women and guys, which is just blows my mind. And runs a podcast with Jeremy Roenick. Just Google it. It's the fucking wildest shit ever. I can't believe this guy has a job and no one is talking about this. I get in DM by somebody who I won't mention their name because he's a Northsider, but he goes, I would not be talking shit to you right now when this is so easily Googleable. You know, he's like, people are coming at me and telling me, dude, this is.
It's always like that, though, isn't it? The people that have like a million skeletons, they're always like, they're trying to tell everyone what they should be doing.
Yeah,
it's like, no, just chill in the background.
I never tell people what to do.
I appreciate everyone that went to bat for me, and I honestly, I can't name you all because there were so many of you, and I know a lot of you think I'm right, and you can't explain it, and you don't understand why you know I'm right, but I appreciate you still thinking I'm right. Chorizo, go right ahead.
Okay. Hopefully this doesn't swing back to your week. But like West Loop Tom reached out and was like, hey, you know, because like you know, he knows we're from Bridgeport.
Yeah, Bridgeport guys.
And he's like, hey, did you see this? And it was this thing that said the Redwood Lounge would be reopening. Now, Beef, you know the Redwood Lounge over there, like 32nd.
Right, I know where it's at. Yeah.
And like
classic sign out there too.
Oh yeah, hold on. I get a picture of it up.
That's good. Yeah, put a picture up there, man. That's great. Look
at
that. Yeah, I love that
this
shit.
place looks fucking awesome from the outside, you know.
Yep.
And like, and Beef, my brain, because it doesn't function properly.
Yeah.
When I saw that, I was like, oh man, I'd love to see that reopen. Like I never got to go there. And I didn't realize it was open until 2009.
Yeah.
But I think it was kind of an old man bar. And so that was not something we would go to, I don't think,
Well, what we maybe didn't know about and why it closed.
I know why it closed.
Was because an FBI raid. Because they had video poker in there.
If I knew, I'd have been in there. Believe you. Well, let's go.
I was like, I'm going to take a little bit of a deep dive and just kind of look back, find an article about this going down. And I found this quote. I fucking love this. I love this quote so fucking much. So the FBI raids it. They close down the bar. And like NBC Chicago, they're doing a story on it. And they say, reached at home, the bar owner, Nick Spazio, declined to comment when asked if his tavern was the object of an FBI raid. And this is his quote to them. "Sweetheart, I can't really talk to you on the advice of my lawyer. We better leave it alone," he told the reporter. Now I'm not going to commit a racism against Italians, but you feel free to think about how that actually sounded when it came out of his mouth. I'm not going to do it.
It sounded great as how it sounded, Treasy. All right? How dare you?
I'm not going to do the voice right in front of my Italian friend when I sex him.
Because you're not Italian, but you're supportive.
I am supportive. But so I love the quote, and I'm thinking about them reopening it. And like I start thinking, like when you think about a place like this, and I'm going to bring up the picture again because like look at this fucking place. It is like a fucking time capsule, right? And if you see the whole building, like you see that like blue tile that goes all the way up, and like it's a relic, right? Like so, I was like,
yeah, that sign's fucked up though. That's poor Photoshop, but yeah, it's broken right now.
What, the cocktails?
Yeah, it's broken. There's a big hole in it.
No, yeah, it's broken.
You
It's
can see the
fucked up.
break in it. You can see the break in it.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
But so
you would have the best Cuddy and water ever in that place.
So you fixed
for
that. Sure. Beef. That's where I'm going, right? Like because like I think your initial mind right now would go like, we make that into a craft cocktail place, right?
Fuck that.
No.
We got
keep the 70s vibe and you serve 70s ass drinks.
Yes.
But beef on top of it. Look, laws have changed. Things have moved around. Let's get the machines back up and running. But this is beef. This is where
let's get Brandon Johnson in on this one time, baby. Let's go.
We've talked a lot about this in Vegas that someone needs to have a vintage machines area.
Yes.
Like you got to have the fucking there's no button. It's all pull. It's all pull.
Yeah. One-arm bandits, baby. Let's go.
All that kind of shit. Nothing complicated, man. 777s. Like
old real slots is all you want in there. And right next to them, Treasy, I want the old school cigarette machine. I know you're not supposed to smoke in bars. This is the one place you can smoke inside. Well, this place is Richards. You can smoke inside, and you get the old school machine, and you pull the thing out, and you get the cigarette
machine, fucking pull tabs, like the whole.
Let's go,
whole
baby.
9 yards. The most recent game that they have in there is Flaming Sevens. That is the most.
That game's hot in there. It's got the progressive and everything. John Carney says, "Sweetheart, give me a Rob Roy stat." That's the kind of bar we're gonna have right here. Let's go.
They need to have. That's what we need. We don't need these goofy craft cocktails. I want to bring back all the goofy ass cocktails.
Great comment. Condom machines in the bathroom. Absolutely.
Southside Bum, Hams, Coors Banquet, have the condom machines in the bathroom. You goddamn right. This is the kind of bar we're put together here.
It's the condoms, and then the sex toy, and then the joke, right? And they're all 50 cents. 50 cents each. But you got to find 40.
The accent wall in the place.
Exactly.
The accent wall in the place is not painted a different color. It is fucking shag carpet, and there is a velvet painting of Elvis on it. Like, that is the place that we're talking about.
This place would be hot, man. You would be hard to get in there. There'd be a line outside of that place.
That place take your grandpa for a mixed drink. That's where yes.
There'd be a line down to Grandstand to get into this fucking.
It'll be like Rayo's in New York City, where you got to buy your table for the month. You buy your table for the month, and that's your table. You got it. You got to pay for it. That's it.
Reserved 108. I can see it now.
Exactly. Oh, the guys will be here in a little bit. They're running late from the game.
They're late always.
Yeah, Kurt's right. 50 cents for cologne. You need the cologne in there. That's absolutely. You got to freshen up. You got to get ready. You go back.
And it's only Brute and whatever the other one.
Right?
Old Spice is the other one.
British Knight or whatever the fuck the other one was.
Dakar Nor.
No,
it's too new. Old
That's
Spice,
new.
I'm saying. Old Spice you get in there.
Like Brute cologne is like.
What was
No,
what was
you're
the sex
thinking
one?
you're thinking like 90s, man. We're talking
Stetson.
Stetson. We're
Ian
talking.
says, I live right next to a bar exactly like that. Bullshit.
We're talking.
I don't think you'd ever leave your house if you lived right by that bar.
Rolling
Ian,
Stone.
you would just stay there.
English
You couldn't
leather.
leave.
English leather. Thank you.
It's got your back. So, Teresi, what's the plans on this thing reopening?
Is it gonna
was
happen?
vague, or what's the deal? Like,
It was
what's going on?
just a tweet. It was just a tweet.
Just
And
a
the-
tweet,
the-
okay.
but it was from an account that I see talking about a lot of places opening and truly opening and everything and so I've got some faith in it. So I want to see it happen. There needs to be a return to the just straight up lounge tavern
Yes.
type place, man. Not everybody has to have food, right? Not everything needs to be a goddamn bar and grill.
Yeah.
Right. Agreed.
Let's
Yep.
just every once in a while have a place that a couple guys could go in and just have a fucking beer and a shot and talk about how much they hate their kids. Like that's just like
Is this where we bring up that the food probably makes the place more profitable unless there was illegal gambling going on? Because now you can have the slots, so you'll make
Well,
some
let's-
money off that.
but let's have the
like-
gambling then. Fuck.
No,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. But like back in the day, they had those places because you could have a side game going on the side and you're making profits. And you're like, I can just give the cutty away. It's no big deal. Like I'm making $2 million back here with these guys just playing cards. It's great.
I was gonna say put a card game in the back room. You never know who'll go back there.
Southside Bum says I can't keep going to Bernice's all the time. Need to switch it up. And
Yeah.
you know what? I'll tell you, one of the best nights I've had recently. I'm sitting with Southside Bum at fucking where Jackie Sheehan's used to be, whatever that place, Electric Funeral.
The funeral.
Oh yeah, over there. Huh.
And we're drinking like Tecates and
Oh, he'd be
tequila.
there tomorrow.
I think he was drinking something else because like the bums won't admit they drink Tecate. But like, so I was at least drinking
They're too
Tecate.
eyebrow. They're too eyebrow.
Yeah, they're
okay,
too
yeah,
fancy
all
for
right,
that
I
shit.
see how it is.
But like,
They're
but yeah, like so like I mean like
Yes.
I need some
Tabs.
fucking.
We need pull tabs in Sox Stadium too. By the way,
I need shot in a beer places. Like I don't know why those are going out of business.
Yeah, it sucks.
Like it's wild to me because like the whole fucking country was built on shot in a beer. Like when we got rid of it, people were killing each other in the middle of the fucking street for a drink.
That's right.
Well, Joey P.
Look at he says I drink the hell out of
You're
Hermanos.
my guy.
Of course, Joey P does.
that's why you should be the fourth
Yeah,
bum,
but-
not the fifth bum, like
also-
they were argued to you, Joe.
I'm gonna drop this
Let that
and
Dougie
you guys
guy
can
jump you.
disagree. Joey P, best hug out of all the bums.
Oh hell yeah!
Excellent hug.
Smells
There's no
the best,
question
too.
about it. Yeah, no, good man.
Good smeller. It smells good.
Good smeller.
All right, MSS.
He's
Time
got a
to pay
good
some
stench.
bills.
He's got a good stench.
It's a musk. It's a musk.
Happy New Year from Mazda of Orland Park. Are you shopping for a new Mazda in the Chicagoland area? Well, look no further than the new vehicle inventory at Mazda of Orland Park. We have a wide range of models in stock, from the popular Mazda CX-5 to the fan favorite Mazda CX-30. Our friendly staff is standing by to help you get behind the wheel of the model that suits your budget and lifestyle best. So take some time and browse our inventory online. Then let us know when you're ready to stop by for a test drive. Come see us at 8910 West 159th Street, Orland Park, or call 708-444-3200. Visit Mazda of Orland Park, Mazda of OrlandPark.com to schedule your test drive. Mazda of Orland Park, home of the Zoom Zoom Nation. 8910 West 159th Street, Orland Park. 708-444-3200. Zoom. Actually, should we get into the... Yeah, I was going to go there too, but I didn't know.
It's my favorite.
Time for some White Sox talk. And you know, I might be drunk. Well, let's.
I would say you had the Godfather, right? You're in there, yeah.
We're pretty deep into the Godfather. We're 2.5 hours into the
The
Godfather.
Godfather will bang you up pretty good, man. That's.
I mean, it's.
Oh, there he is. There he is.
Gordo's
All right.
still here. Good job for living. He says, cheers to everyone this weekend. Can't wait to hear all about the seedlings. And, he was talking about White Sox Dave's hair.
We'll get a picture for you and send it to you.
Even growing up. I told him I would take it. He's like, will you tell me how they are? I go, I will take a picture with the seedlings.
Get a picture or a video of the seedlings for Gordo.
Yeah.
So since we last chatted, the Sox have had some announcements, and one I thought had quite a reaction for what I felt was a mild change. So if you look at the Sox schedule, the times came out, and there's no more 7-10 games, and not 7-11 games. They're not.
That was so
7-11's
awesome.
not paying.
Such a good
paying
one.
for that. No one's paying for that now.
Too bad.
What a genius Brooks Boyer is for that. Yep.
I mean, squeezing that money out is pretty
There's
impressive.
no question. Yeah, that was great.
Let's just start 1 minute later, and we'll get all this money.
But
Sounds like a great idea.
All the night games, with the exception of Saturdays. Saturdays are a different time night game. Are 6:40, and people were either enraged about this or confused about this. So I wanted to ask our resident fan experience guy, My Sox Summer, what his thoughts are and what the pros and cons are of a 6:40 start time for a night game.
So here's my deal. Okay. I am a fan experience guy, but I'm also a fan guy that lives right up the street. So it makes absolutely no difference to me if it starts 20 minutes earlier than it does. Now, say I'm driving in from the suburbs. Okay. You're going in early because you're going to beat that traffic anyway. You're taking the afternoon off if you're going to a Sox game. As far as I'm concerned, you live a couple hours away. You're driving in early. This probably shouldn't affect you either. Like, this is not a big deal. Do not worry about it. Are you in the city and you're taking all forms of all 7 of the forms of public transportation that come to the park? This shouldn't bother you either. It's a fucking non-issue. It's 20 fucking minutes, dude. Like, take
30.
the shit a little 30. Take the shit a little earlier and then get over. I forgot the 10 minutes.
He didn't carry the one. That's okay. It's okay. You're all right, MS.
I need to make a chart or a fucking number line. Okay,
You're okay. You're okay. Don't worry about it, baby. Keep going.
I'm relearning first grade math again. So
It's not the clinching of your argument. So I'm sorry.
It's not the clinchman. I don't think it's really that big of a deal. 30 minutes earlier gets you out 30 minutes later, or 30 minutes earlier. So like 30 minutes earlier game gets you out 30 minutes earlier at the end too. So I don't know. I like it. They did a bunch of them last year, and it must have worked well, and they must have not noticed any difference. Now, I'm not going to say maybe because they lost all those games and no one was showing up, so you just had diehards anyway. So maybe you will lose some people later, but I don't think so. I think it's good. I like that it's a little bit. It might be a little bit more like early when we get home. Get home at 9 o'clock. It's fucking fantabulous, to be honest.
So I think that my take on this is twofold. I think on the weekday games, like so middle of the week, they're really catering.
You'll never be there. That's gonna be my prediction. Tracy goes to like 20% less games. MSS. What?
No,
I mean 6:40. He's like, I was already gonna be late. I wouldn't get there till 7:45. I ain't coming.
I actually like those.
How hungry is he, and what does he have in his fridge though?
That's what I want to get to. There is an underlying good point here. Like,
yeah,
I shit you not. Cornsey was like, "We're gonna eat at the park more." Like but for us, I mean that's a different situation. But I think they're really
everybody.
catering to people that are close to the park for the weekday games because they know they got no fucking attendance, right? Like the attendance is gonna suck, so they're catering to that. But the thing I thought about was when you look at overall how much shit that the Sox have already announced of like, oh, we're doing this, we're doing that, we're doing all these different things. The 6:40 time on Friday makes a lot of sense if every goddamn Friday is a fireworks night. And so I think that that's what this actually is that like every Friday of this season is going to be a fireworks night because they got to find a way to get people in. They got to find a way to get money in too. And like those sponsors sponsoring that, like, I'm sure they don't just pay for the fireworks. Like there's a little, there's at least a little cherry on top that the team gets to keep. They're not just paying the cost of the fireworks. So like, I think that like they're looking at it like, holy fuck, CHSN ain't gonna make a shit this year. We got to find other ways to make money. 6:40 start time opens up the door to every Friday being a fireworks night. it opens up the door to, okay, we're only going to get 5,000 people in on a weekday. Well, they're eating dinner here. Like that's like these are the things that they're thinking about. Like this is them monetizing what they can from this team that is, I mean, like, we're honest about it. This is an easy 100 loss team. Like me and Beef are betting that it's only 112 loss team.
Absolutely. No, I was thinking along the same lines as both of you because MSS brought up a great point. It's like, you're not working your whole day. You're gonna leave early. Everyone wants to leave early from work anyway. You want an excuse to leave early, and the excuse to leave early is you're going to the ball game. And people use that for any sport or whatever, but now they'll use it more for the White Sox because it's an earlier start time. And Teresa, you mentioned eating, because I saw the tweet from Joe Pompliano about the Atlanta Falcons, about the Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. They were the first ones who did they had the lower cost options on the concessions, right? And now other teams are copying. And I saw recently the Baltimore Orioles are the most recent one to have a chunk of the menu that's going to be lower cost. The White Sox, it would behoove you to find 5 or 6 items and throw them lower cost and make it a reason why that game's at 6:40. Fine, we're kicking off work at 3. We're going to drive up. We'll be there at 4:15 or whatever. We're coming in the ballpark early. We're going to eat dinner there. We'll hang out. We'll have some brewskis. We'll do all this, and we'll make the game the entire night. This is going to be our entire thing. So from that perspective, I like that. From our perspective, My Sox Summer, it's great to have a half hour at the end of the day back with you that we wouldn't have had because we're sitting around waiting for the game to start, and we're close here and all that stuff. So I think it works from both perspectives. I love it. I think it's a great approach. I think they should carve out times to have a later start if you need to, just depending on events going on before it or the perceived traffic or whatever. But a normal fucking weekday start, 6:40 sounds beautiful. Hustle up, get out of work, come eat dinner at the ballpark, enjoy a game, and you'll be home by 9:30. And that's beautiful. You're going to go back to work the next day, and it's nothing. No sleep loss, no nothing. Easy.
The menu thing, Teresa, I'll let you go too. But the menu thing is just a genius thing. Like, yes, okay, if I keep my hot dog at $6, I'm going to make $6 every time I sell a hot dog. But if I lower it to $2, I'll sell 8 times as many hot dogs and I'll make up that cost. Like, it makes sense. They can do it. Like, you don't tell me that their dollar dog nights are not profitable. They're fucking profitable. Like, I know how much a thing of hot dogs costs. It's $2. If I'm the White Sox buying as many hot dogs as I can, fucking A, man. If you want to keep the big one for the guys that want to spend $6, like, I'm sure Wally Money is going to be like, I can't eat those little dogs. I need the big dog. Give me the big wiener. I need the big wiener in my mouth. That's what he's going to say. Absolutely. So he's just like, yes, keep it for those. And I think that's what those other guys are doing, like the Suns and everybody else doing these low menu items. They're going to have high end shit and they're going to have low end shit. You go to the dollar menu. It's like just like it, McDonald's. You can get your fucking fancy shit, or you get the little the dollar stuff. Trezo.
I was just gonna say on the low menu thing too. Like, you think you want to work that place, right? Because like, do you want to work the $6 hot dog or do you want to work the $2 hot dog? Because the $6 hot dog, nobody's tipping. Yeah. Like even us, we tip well.
Yeah.
Like, how much you tipping on a $6.25 hot dog? The 75 cents?
Man.
75 cents,
because it's like, fuck, man, this is 8,000 times market price for a hot dog. But the $2
one, you want for this?
The $2 one, I'll tip fucking $3 on the $2 hot dog because I'm still coming out on top. And so, like, I know it's not across the board, but
you get
like,
that 20% off though too.
The tip's got to be good at those stands.
There's no question.
Hell yeah.
And so I like that. And then the other thing, I was laughing about this, Beef. So I'm watching these comments come in of like, oh well, now I'm definitely not going.
We're going anyway, motherfucker.
I ran in, so I went out and see my buddy's band this past weekend, and like, one of the first things the guy says to me, and like, we've been friends forever. He's like, I'm not giving Jerry a fucking dollar of my money this year. And I was like, hey, I understand. I totally understand. And I thought to myself, motherfucker, I ain't seen you at the ballpark for 5 years. I don't think he's counting on your dollar. That $1 you're going to he has not been counting on that.
You're out already. I've been trying to scream it from the rooftops. The White Sox trying to get rid of all you fans, and they're getting some new fans in. That's what they want, okay? That's what they're doing. You guys are gone anyway, so don't worry about it. Don't come back. You don't need to. It's okay.
Here's the deal. And they've only announced like one of them so far, and like some of the giveaways, right? And they announced the Dick Allen bobblehead, right? Like they threw that out there on National Bobblehead Day. And everyone and their mother who has said the same thing, Chirizi, I'm not going, I'm not giving them money, blah, blah, blah. They see that bobblehead, or they're going to see that sweatshirt, or they're going to see whatever other promo, and they're like, man, just when I think I'm out, they brought me back in with this free shit. Because you know what? People love that shit. And that's what brings people in. And I'm sorry. People make fun of me, like Ramon, my 500 bobbleheads on eBay. People love it, man. If I didn't make money on it, I wouldn't sell it. So shut the fuck up.
Well,
Ramon.
and also if the team won every once in a while. Let's get this drink real quick.
I was just kidding. Well, we got two. We got two.
Okay, all right.
So we got Baloney. He says, we're ready to drink Reggie's Drive Modelo's for the third straight year.
Yes.
Moscate.
Yes. Saturday's going to be nice.
We're in the big room, though. So they're stocked.
They might have more.
I've drank there before. I think they got the better stock. So
Saturday's going to be a treat not only for the show but the mingling. There'll be some extra people there that you guys don't know about that are going to come, and it'll be fun. Anyone who bought a ticket, you're going to get your money's worth. I'll tell you.
There's a good guest list. Let's
There's
say
a
that.
good guest
the word on the street. The word on the street is that the mustard belt might be in attendance.
Allegedly, it might be there.
And it might be
you can't wear it.
Jackie Trier says, "Get you some ticklers and an English leather."
Cheers.
Yeah, with $2 we can get that, baby.
All right, guys. So I want to switch.
Oh, you got to hit my guy though. You got to hit.
you got one more.
Sharon Zach's
one.
Yeah.
Shout out to all the big naturals.
Oh yes. Does that include us? I think it includes us.
I think so. I think we are the big naturals.
Oh, guys, I just killed the Godfather.
What's up?
All right, so we've got five
time for
drinks
this Manhattan
down tonight. 5 line items out of 50 in one podcast.
We got 6 because Chorizo got 3. No.
Oh, you got 3 drinks?
You got 3.
I'm doing a
I got
Manhattan.
Oh,
About to do a Manhattan right now.
So
Yeah.
6. I can't wait till they study this. And they were like, listen, these guys wanted to do 50 drinks in like a season. And
it's opening day. They've done 38 already.
They finished it in a month and a half.
A little cherry Manhattan, in case you never had it.
Attaboy. Oh, that looks good, actually.
Is that with Campari too? Is that why it's cherry or no?
No, with cherry.
He's sweating Campari right now.
This is wondering.
I might just drink a glass of Campari when we're talking after the show. Guys.
Show me out of the bottle.
I love it.
Stay on the Sox. I do want to talk about I was talking about the idea of they might have a lot of fireworks nights.
Yeah.
But they announced their theme nights, or at least some of them, because it does say more to come. But there's a lot of theme nights right out of the gates. And one thing I noticed, I'll bring it up really quickly, is they've always had Hispanic Heritage Night.
Yeah,
which is awesome. Last year they introduced Mexican Heritage Night.
Yes.
Which was well attended, but it was Dodgers plus Mexican Heritage Night.
It was sold out. It was ridiculous.
It was a sweet ass jersey.
The most fucking traffic I've seen.
Oh my god.
Teresa, you had to park in my garage because there was no spots and it was impossible to get down the streets.
They added this year Puerto Rican Heritage Night.
Okay. MSS, you're locked in.
I know.
And on top of that, I don't remember if they did this last year, but they got reggaeton night. So
they have house music night. They had house music night.
They'll do house.
Maybe they're trying reggaeton
again. But I think
put me on market saying fuck reggaeton. I don't think.
But Beef, I'm just saying that there's a lot of different nights appealing to
a lot of different people. Yeah,
to Hispanic,
the Mexicans
mostly.
And so I was interested in that. Now I got an idea because this is a combination of my idea and someone else, because I want to say it was Sox Mom. I can't remember. Someone was like, they got to retire Ozzie Guillen's number at some point.
They do,
dude. make Hispanic Heritage Night a Saturday with retiring Ozzie Guillen's number, that place is sold out well in advance.
It would be an impossible ticket to get.
Yeah, I mean there would be people paying $200 for tickets to that fucking
easily. Yes,
like
just to get in the
and
door.
like so. I think they need to like for some of these because like let's not kid ourselves. This team is fucking terrible. So like the theme nights are important. They gotta get this shit right because last year we went to Riot Fest night and like they barely mentioned it. They barely played any music that you would associate with Riot Fest. It was weird. Pride night didn't have shit. Like I'm looking at May the 4th, and it's Star Wars Day. God damn it, you motherfuckers better bring it. Because I'm gonna be complaining. I'm gonna be complaining if it's not all out, man. I need a fucking bobblehead that I'm not gonna get.
Did you? You didn't see
it? You don't care about
it. You didn't see it?
I didn't see it yet.
They announced it. I
need motherfuckers in cosplay. Like the one year we went a couple of years ago.
I need motherfuckers in cosplay.
It's 800 degrees on Star Wars Day, and they got motherfuckers cosplayed out. Like it's May the 4th. It's still gonna be cool enough. You could have a Chewbacca. All right, so like
I'm taking the image down so we see MSS.
So
you got it. It was up purposely so that I could
to block MSS.
I could talk shit about their marketing for a second without him yelling.
You couldn't see him.
I think their marketing's great. I think the addition of the other.
I'm saying I don't know if
night
it
is
is
great.
No, I was gonna say Teresi disagrees. He does not think it is for this stuff.
I think adding some of those things are great, right? Star Wars night, it's a Steve Stone Stormtrooper bobblehead. So you got that coming, Teresi. There's a bobblehead already. Christmas in July.
Thank you, Stoney.
You have an Aaron Rowan, Cousin Eddie, or bobblehead. Christmas Vacation.
There we go.
I'm assuming that's who it is, or that's what they're doing because that's dope. Even though
wait, hold on.
What?
You said it's an Aaron Rowan, Cousin Eddie bobblehead.
Yes.
Is it a Cousin Eddie? Because you said that's what I assume they're doing.
I'm assuming that's what they're going to do because I've only seen.
Why are you going to assume that that's what they're going to do?
Because, okay, I'll just tell you how it works in the bobblehead industry. Once they make one, they make a ton. So they have, like, they've done Cousin Eddie, I think, 2 times. They've had, there's a minor league one. There's 2 minor league giveaways. Sioux City Canaries. In our own
so let me re-ask this question. What do you know for sure about that?
I just know that
what are you assuming?
I know for sure it's Aaron Rowan and his Christmas Vacation.
Okay.
Yeah, it could be Aaron Rowan as Clark, okay? He's not going to be Beverly D'Angelo, and I don't know who else you can fucking put. I mean, listen.
Mrs. Beef says Star Wars and Harry Potter right next to each other? Nerds. And I agree. A lot of dorkiness right there in May, early part of May. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, you know what? Those nerds got money, motherfucker. All right?
So Ian brings up a good point, too. And he said that he talked about how wrestling night was cool because people were yelling and chanting and they got all dressed up. You're not wrong. That wrestling night,
they should bring that back. Yeah,
that could be one that gets announced later too. They didn't want to get like all the stuff in. I know they caught like a ton of shit last year for Pride, so get ready to get like your mouth stuffed.
Yeah, they didn't push it that hard. But they didn't push anything that hard last year. They were kind of like very reserved on all this shit. They pushed it a little harder.
They want to get these motherfuckers in. You get for Harry Potter night, you get Sister Jean in. She's got the Harry Potter scarf she always wears.
That dry ass pussy. We can't have that. No.
It's not
just keep that dusty pussy away from our section. All right, put it somewhere else. If
I don't know why. Like, so they have all the stuff up there. Oktoberfest Day, go fuck yourself. I don't like that. They can get out of here. That beer's horrible.
Here's the mistake I see, guys. So you guys are the marketing guys. I'm not. I'm a content guy. If we're talking about our group right here, but the mistake I'm seeing here is when you're going to have the Heritage Nights, you should have these Heritage Nights as close as fucking possible to when the street fests that reflect those in Chicago happen.
It's true.
And they don't do it. They disconnect all of it. Line the shit up. If you can line them up where it's the front or back end of it, do that shit 100%. Because then you have the spillover from the street fest. Hey, and to top it off, we're going to go to the Sox game and it's going to be 1 million Greek people or whatever, 1 million Polish people. Like, that's the way you got to do that shit. But they never do it. They don't line it up, you know?
You know,
10,000, whatever.
too. I think beef that they like if pull it back up for a second. Pull it back up for a second.
10,000. Put the graphic back up.
Yeah, get that back up there for you.
I think they don't do enough different heritage nights.
I would agree with you.
Right, because I think the one thing that like you got to realize, especially on the South Side, there are some heritages that are not from huge countries, but are very large in the South Side community. Like, why is there no fucking Croatian or Lithuanian?
I was thinking the same thing. Croatian and Lithuanian absolutely should be in here.
You have no fucking Croatian night? That shit's off.
It'll be
packed. I am there. I'm there.
It'll be fun. And it'll be fucking packed.
I should just do like European night.
No, don't combine them.
No.
Leave them separate. Like the way they're doing it with
very specific
with Mexican and Puerto Rican, and they're like separating them out. Great idea. To spread it out because all those people will come out, and they'll also come out for Hispanic. But like spread them out a little bit. You know.
They do like some certain nights, like theme nights for people that don't get promoted. So like I know they have like storm bowling. You know, like all these bowlers come through and they get like, a fancy hat that says Storm on there, or like the local high schools, they have like St. Rita night and all that kind of stuff. But that only gets promoted like internally, like to those organizations, they don't put it out there. So, hey, maybe you get a bunch of Croats together and maybe they'll get their night, who knows?
Arjun brings up a good one too. Like he said, I'm so sad I couldn't make Bulls Indian Heritage Night. How the fuck does Chicago not have an Indian Heritage Night? How do the Sox not?
Yeah, how do the Sox not have one? What the fuck? That's insane.
I mean, I think I have at least 75 Indian friends that went to IIT. That's like a block away.
I was going to say right there.
I think HBIC does bring up a little bit of a point. People are going to the Street Fest, and they don't usually leave the Street Fest. They party all night at the Street Fest.
I'm saying bookend it.
So, if the Street Fest starts on Friday, Thursday night should be that Heritage Night.
That's right.
We're going to kick it off at the
that.
That's right.
Okay.
Or shortly after it ends. So if it ends on Sunday, put the game on Tuesday and it's a street. Okay. Oh, yeah, we're still going to celebrate and we'll go in there. Like
Thursday night into the Street Fest would be beautiful.
As an Italian, I can't yell random numbers for that many days in a row, Loaf. I can't do
Bullshit.
that. Like,
the real Italians can. All right, I'm sorry. K-Dog says, "Befred that Connor McKnight news like MSS live ad read." I'm sorry. All right, K-Dog.
How fucking far behind are you?
He's pretty far.
It's at the beginning of the show. It was a weak read. I agree with that. There's no question. The other thought I had with this, so the theme nights, obviously, I don't get into the theme nights that much, but there should be more theme nights.
You did too. You went to De La Salle night. You love that shit. You bought shirts and everything.
I did, but that's for my high school, right? The high school nights.
Yeah.
But the high school nights aren't even on the list. They won't end up on the list. They're going to be like a special ticket and all that. Yeah. The theme nights are for everybody. And so like they have Elvis Night, Grateful Dead, Star Wars, Harry Potter. There's got to be a few more options to hit, don't you think?
Mullet Night's got to come back.
I loved Mullet Night when they had it. It was tremendous.
There has to be a haircut place that was willing to sponsor that.
No,
like I know like whatever Supercuts or whoever the fuck it was like is no longer doing that. Fuck that. There's got sports clips. Fucking
Jim at the.
Mailman Jack says these heritage nights might be scams for mass deportations. I ain't going. Take it easy, Jack, all right? Just relax, all right? This is...
He's blunt, but he's got a point.
You son of a bitch.
No, I think it's... I like the theme nights. They're fun.
Yeah, the high school nights are fundraisers. I agree.
Pornhub night.
Rich.
Pornhub night would be a big,
you know what I'm saying, though, right, Treasy? I mean, there's more options to do that. Star Wars night's fun. I mean, I had no problem with that, but, like, there's more opportunities to do those types of theme nights, and it'd be a lot of fun. There could be a Vegas night. There could be there's a lot of shit you can go out there and do if you wanted to do it,
Like a Vegas night would be incredible.
It'd be fun, wouldn't it?
Vegas night would be really good. Like I think you could do all kinds of shit. Like that Plinko could be for real money instead of bullshit prices.
There'd be a line to play that shit too. No one watched the game.
Guys up there fucking sweating it, just like bounces and get stuck.
Instead of getting a
Royce,
we gotta restart.
Instead of getting a Royce Clayton ball that they found underneath someone's couch, like they're giving away $9 cash money, like fucking line all the way back to Redwood Lounge for that.
You really hit it big. God.
All right. Any other thoughts on the theme nights?
No, I'm good. I'm tapped, as they say.
Then I think it's time for. Thank you.
Let's go.
GFY. My Sock Summer, who are you thinking are GFY?
Hey, I just want to thank everybody that they came out and supported your boy. Even if you thought my argument was dumb, you at least said, hey, I appreciate you fighting, or I agree with you. For the several people that texted me and told me that some of these people were fucking assholes, I appreciate that too. And just that support. But biggest thank goes out to our waitress that we had at the Texas Roadhouse, who both my wife and I said, holy shit, this girl was a really good waitress. And I was expecting horrible service because we're in a college town. It's just people working at college. They're like, fuck. She was so excited, so happy, so nice to the girls, to us. No.
That's where I thought it was going, Treasy, too. I was like, hang on, what kind of story is this?
No, she just did she had really good service and just was very nice. And then when I left her just a 20% tip, she was like, oh my gosh, that's really generous. Thank you very much. And I was like, sweetheart, you should be getting 20 tip way more than 20%.
You went sweetheart. Italian guy went sweetheart. Treasy, can you believe this shit?
I can't really talk you on advice with my lawyer. We better leave it alone.
But sweetheart, you should have a bigger tip than that.
I didn't say that to her. I thought that in my head. No, I even talked to the manager. I said to the manager, I was like, hey, you got a good waitress over there. She did a really good job. She was
broad over there did a great job.
I did not say that. You're making racism.
We better leave it alone.
Yeah, but anyway, that's good. So, if you were ever debating whether or not you should go to the Texas Roadhouse in DeKalb or Sycamore, you should do that. Please go hit it up. It's good times.
Let's get a drink from Joey P. Says, see you all on Saturday night. Cheers.
Joey,
Joey
see
P.
you Saturday, buddy.
One for Jackie Trainer. He says, new metal night. I'm a few minutes behind.
I'm sorry.
Me and MSS for new metal night. I would go goatee for new metal night if you would go with me.
I would do it. Did you go through that playlist though? There's so many bad songs, and one of them is fucking Janet Jackson. How is she new metal? I don't know. Yeah, shut up. Okay.
It's not sexual harassment. He's just Italian. Don't worry about it.
Waitress? What am I supposed to call her? A server?
Server!
Oh, yeah, that sounds real good.
Whatever.
Dipshit.
Beef. Who are you thinking of GFY?
All right, I'm going to thank a guy who never gets thanked on any show anywhere. I'm going to thank George McCaskey for whipping his goddamn big dick out there and saying, fuck it, we're going to give all the money to Ben Johnson and get your ass over here and fix this fucking football team. Because we shit on George McCaskey all the time, but you know what? They pulled out all the money. They said, here's all the money we got. Here's the hell's fortune. We're going to give it to this guy, and he's going to come in here and coach our football team, and we're going to have a great team, and Caleb's going to make it. So I got to give the man flowers. No one else is going to do it, but I'm giving this guy fucking flowers. He whipped his big dick out, put the money on the table, and got this guy in the house, and I love it. I love the upside of a Ben Johnson. Let's go.
He's got his imitation Blackhawks jersey on with the hog hanging out of the bottom. That's what you're saying. That's
looking like Peter North.
It took just that little bit just to make everyone go, yes, we're back in. Like for the last 2 months.
All right,
everyone's like, oh, it's the worst. Everything sucks. Life sucks. Life sucks. They hire a new coach. They're like, listen, we could really do something here, guys.
No one's ever out on the Bears for real though.
I'm with you here, MSS. Everyone was like, fire fucking Ryan Poles. Fire that guy. And then they're like, best GM in the league.
Hang on. Not my guy, Scott and Flows. They were like, look, they got this right, but we still ain't back in on Ryan Poles. They're like, he's still fucked up. I heard their show.
Real.
They shouted us out 2 times.
They're real.
Boys, just let you know.
I was watching.
They want to come back on. They want to come back on and talk about some good Bear stuff. That's what they said in there. So
I was also listening to the 670, and they were like, yeah, he didn't give him a handshake when they introduced him. They gave each other a bro hug. They're like the same age. This is going to be better. And I'm like, why? Why is that how they're shaking hands and greeting each other?
All that stuff's meaningless.
Anything better?
Week 1, we'll see what it looks like. That's exactly. We're starting to look. Week 1, that's when we start looking.
Treasy, who are you thinking are GFY?
I'm thinking P. Knowles for looking so much like Ben Johnson. But who am I thinking? I'm thinking everybody who's coming out on Saturday night. That's who I'm thinking. And you know how I'm thinking you? if you're going to Sox Fest, we got the Reggie's bus pulling up right under the fucking marquee. So
what time?
Right at 9. 9 p.m. That shit's ending. You walk out the door. You walk right in the bus. Bus takes you over. But guess what? Bus ain't taking you back. All right. So if I can figure out your way home, that's you got to figure out your way home. But we got the Reggie's bus coming over to the Sox Fest. Gonna pick all you motherfuckers up, and then you come over, and then we're gonna party. And
party
I
balls.
talked to Reggie's. I was like, all right, we're gonna do this show from this time to this time, and then we're gonna just kind of hang out. And like, what time we got the place till? And they're like, so you motherfuckers stop spending money. So
let's go.
You guys want to stay in there? Drink it up. I mean, like, there's laws, right? Like, you can't stay in there past like 3 a.m. or whatever. But like, if you want to party, Reggie's is ready for you to party.
We've been known to stay there till 2 a.m.
Yeah, so come out, be ready to go. Shit starts at 9. We're gonna be going. Like, I think we start at 8. Like, doors are at
8. So we'll be there at 8. But
we'll start a little after 9. I mean, like, I'm putting together the show. I sent out some questions to some of the people so far, and they're just like, "Oh yeah, let's talk about this."
It's easy.
This shit's not being recorded, so like, be ready.
If somebody wants to go to Ramova just to ride the party bus, can they do that?
Just show up at Ramova right around there.
Yeah.
Just actually go into Ramova. So the bar at Ramova will be open.
You can go there.
Yeah. Just go to the bar, hang out, have a couple drinks, and jump on.
Or go across the street to Electric Funeral. Or go get a tattoo across the street and then come across. Like,
Jeff might be in the bar at Ramova because he didn't make the main
miss.
So, like,
you can't miss the Reggie's bus. The Reggie's bus looks
like
an
after party bus to Redwood. One thing I thought about Treasy, I was like, should I bring some stacks? Are we going to go to Bally's after the Reggie's?
Oh my god!
You see, I didn't even want to put it in your head. I didn't want to put it in your goddamn head.
You think the Reggie's bus will take
you can't.
It would drive us to Horseshoe. Let's go. Let's go. I'll bring some money with me. Let's do it.
It wasn't last year, but it was what?
Now
2
I'm
years ago
driving
you had to
the
get
bus.
out of there. You had to get walked out of there 2 years ago. You can't be going into a casino like
it was.
in
It
that
was 3
condition.
years ago. I learned my lesson. I'll be okay. Don't worry about
All right. Well, first of all, let's stop for just a second. The condition Beef was in when he had to get walked out of Reggie's, I have gambled with him in casinos where he was in worse condition. So get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of there with that. When I was yelling at Conway Twitty in Detroit, I was in worse condition than that. I ate a mayo burger after that.
How dare you?
Everyone, make sure to come out Saturday. Saturday night is going to be a riot. I'm so fucking excited about who we've got.
Let's do it, baby.
Up. Talking to people who are going to be there. So the guest list is on point. Like, so not even just the people that are going to be on stage with us. Like, some of the people that have been like, "Oh, I'm fucking absolutely
going to come hang out."
It's going to be wild. I'm very excited about all of it.
Fields. Sprays to all fields.
Will Otto be driving the bus? Absolutely. Otto, and it's going to smell like Otto's jacket everywhere. I can guarantee that. But thank you, everybody who tuned in tonight. We'll talk to you all soon. In fact, we'll talk to you on Saturday if you come show up in person. Have a good night, everybody.
Good night.